What's going on, everyone? It's time to talk about an Amazon Prime horror film. Called Nanny. It was released November 23rd, 2022, and it was directed by Nikita Josh, who also did films like Suicide by Sunlight, African Booty Scratcher, Say Grace Before Drowning, and Flavors. So Nanny. Well, there's this you follow this South African woman who was trying to make a better life for her and her son. And basically, she comes to New York to be a nanny and try to start building a foundation so her son could have a better future and a better life because it's not going too well where she lives there. So she comes and works for this rich or supposedly rich family and looks after the kids and stuff. And they start treating her really weird and not the best, but also these weird ghostly like dreams and stuff start happening when she's not sure why it's happening or anything like that. And it's just these really tense nightmares she starts having, and these like dark presences in this apartment are causing her to have problems, and it's just making her life a little more dysfunctional and harder to deal with than being like an immigrant to the US and trying to build a better life there. So she starts trying to balance it, and once she starts finally has it sort of going her way, she tries to bring her kid over. But spoiler alert, the twist in this film was really, I was surprised that they actually did it, where she finds out her son drowned. But if you look back into at the whole story, it's very well woven in subtextually into the film narrative, and that happened, and it's ended up being the spirits and her son trying to tell her that it's happened. And of course she's like living in a rough, she can't live with it, so she tries to end her own life at the end too. Overall, I thought this film was okay. I don't think I'm the target audience for this. It wasn't really, it's more of a thriller than a horror film. And it's it's like an artsy horror thriller. So I thought it was an all right film. I thought the acting was pretty good. It was pretty well shot. The paranormal stuff was cheesy and kind of dull, very minimal. And the rest of it was pretty conventional and standard for the most part. But I did like the twist, and I thought overall the whole film as a whole was just an okay film. I just don't think it was targeted for me. But it does show you a picture of how some people immigrating to whatever country to build a better life some may have to go through, and I appreciate that. And I thought that was pretty bold and good idea, especially nowadays since all that stuff is becoming more acceptable and stuff. So, yeah, it was a good effort, but overall, I just don't think I was the target audience for this, and I wasn't really into it. So, I'm going to give Nanny a 1.5 out of 5. So, yeah, I just don't think I was the target audience for it, and it was a little too bland and just too standard for me, my liking. But it might be for a good beginner into horror or someone who's not really into horror but likes thrillers and stuff. This one will probably be a little more for those type of people. So, yeah, if you want to check it out, it's on Amazon Prime. At least Canada's Amazon Prime right now. And yeah, and there's a trailer link down below, like always. Also, link down below is my Instagram. That's where I always post clips of films and review in the future on my stories. You have the film title hashtag and subject on film and hashtag, so you're aware of it. And my Letterbox is linked down below at JP Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating after watching the film. So follow me on one of those two platforms and loop this channel. Like this video, share it so more people aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. If you have any other films or film franchises at all that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, or if you have anything on any streaming platform that you want to hear my opinions on, comment those down below. I'll try my best to get them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. And yeah, make sure you subscribe. Hope friends from the weird, obscure, and odd they probably never thought of checking out together, somewhat like this. Also, so you hear my opinions on popular films that have come out, classic films, and reviews on other things as well. And yeah, make sure you ring that bell because it's time to time for me to put my words in put my opinions out there on one of the most popular horror franchise, modern horror franchises out there, I'm gonna start doing the Conjuring films. Well, Conjuring 2, Annabelle, Annabelle Creation, Annabelle Comes Home, and The Nun. I'm gonna do them in order as they came out. So I don't care about if it's a prequel or not. I'm not doing that first because I've seen it where they fuck things up in between there. So, but make sure you tune in for that. The Conjuring will be the next review. So yeah, so let's get spooky. Anyways, yeah. So in the meantime, be nice to your nannies, and hopefully they're not as crazy and stuff. And I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So until then, cheers.